Finally, NFL football is here for Las Vegas Raiders fans as the Raiders kicked off their preseason against the Minnesota Vikings Saturday. In some ways, the Raiders starters seemed like the polar opposite of what they showed in training camp. The starting defense was dominant in training camp, but the Vikings were able to move the ball and make big plays on them. But one way they were the same as they were in training camp is stiffening in the red zone, hence the fourth down stop. The starting offense and the quarterback position were supposed to be areas of concern, but the starting offense moved the ball with ease and the quarterbacks looked good. The Raiders lost the game 24-23, but the Raiders starters won their battle. And most importantly, some individual players the Raiders need are showing signs that they're going to be alright. Let's start with the quarterback position. No one was able to distinguish themselves from the other in training camp. Aiden O'Connell started out outperforming Gardner Minshew for a few days, but not by much. Then it was Minshew for a few days, and not by much. Then O'Connell got up on Minshew again, but not by much. Then in the game, neither one distinguished themselves, but it was for a different reason. They both looked good. O'Connell was pinpoint accurate, and you can see how live his arm is. Minshew, he doesn't have the arm or accuracy O'Connell has, but hey, he was accurate enough, and he got the ball down the field a couple of times. He also has more pocket presence and mobility, scrambling for a first down on third down. He's going to have more pocket presence because he has much more experience. Either way, O'Connell had only one drive, and he was 7 for 9 for 76 yards with no touchdowns or interceptions. Minshew was 6 for 12 for 112 yards and a 20-yard touchdown to DJ Turner, who had a really good training camp. It looks like the starting quarterback job is going to hang in the balance a little longer, but it's encouraging that both of them are playing well. One guy I've really been looking forward to seeing since the offseason started is receiver Trey Tucker. He has the speed that typifies what Raider football is all about. He runs by guys so easily. I was disappointed in him in camp though because he had some drops. I didn't see that coming because his hands were good last year. In the game today, Tucker showed up with a big play. He caught a 44-yard pass from Minshew and showed more than just his blazing speed on the play. He showed his ability to track the ball and adjust to it. Minshew threw the ball over the wrong shoulder, so Tucker played center field and turned his head to make a diving catch. But before he outran his man and got open deep, his release at the line of scrimmage set it all up. It was Davante Adams-esque. If he can combine a release like that with his speed all year, he's going to beat a lot of guys deep. Smaller receivers usually have problems at the line of scrimmage with press man. Tucker had 73 yards receiving on the day as both of his catches were over 20 yards. Again, if he keeps on like this, he's going to make a lot of big plays for the Raiders this year. I couldn't wait to see the tight end position either. Michael Mayer was good in camp, and in the game, he did a good job of blocking and he had a catch. But most of the excitement was over rookie first-round pick Brock Bowers, though. He was as advertised in training camp, and in the game yesterday, you saw how it's all going to work. He caught 2 passes for 25 yards, but that ain't the whole story. He's going to be so hard to stop because opposing defenses will not know where he's coming from. He lined up all over the place in training camp and in the game, so we can see the plan for him. He lined up at tight end. He lined up at H-back, flexed off the line of scrimmage. He lined up out wide, too. One of his catches came when he was out wide. The Raiders didn't handle the ball in the backfield, but he did block from there, and his speed will be a problem from there. At fullback, he'll have the worst coverage linebacker on him unless the defense makes a switch, but any linebacker is a mismatch. He's too fast. He can slip past the linebacker on play action, too. The more ways you can go with the opposition, the further you can go. So Bowers is going to go far. Another position I was excited to see today is corner. The Raiders have one of the best defensive lines in football, even though they didn't show it today, and you know about the safety tandem. You also know about slot corner Nate Hobbs being one of the best at what he does. And of course, you know Jack Jones looked like a superstar corner when he came to the Raiders last year. He played in only 7 games for the Raiders, but again, he looked like a superstar, giving up a passer rating of 33.9, and he had 2 interceptions returned for touchdowns. If Jones is anywhere near the same guy he was last year, he's going to have a hell of a year this year. I don't know what buttons Pierce pushed that former New England Patriots head coach Bill Belichick didn't, but I'm so glad to see him do what he's doing. Jones had a great training camp this year too, still looking like a superstar corner, and in the game Saturday, he showed he's the same guy. He showed his hands to go along with his ball hawk instincts when he picked off a pass. Having a guy like Jones is going to make the defense that much harder to throw on. The Raider pass rush plus Jones is going to equal quite a few turnovers when they throw the ball his way this year. I've been saying all offseason that if second-year corner Joron Bennett makes that jump to year 2 along with Jones being the same guy, it's game over. Opposing teams won't even be able to throw the ball on the Raiders. It was hard enough for Patrick Mahomes to throw on the Raiders last year. And yes, it looks like Bennett did make that jump. He had a very strong camp, breaking up and intercepting passes. He didn't intercept a pass in the game Saturday, but he did save a touchdown on a 4th down in his own end zone with a pass breakup. We found out Saturday that Joron Bennett and the Raider defense are the reason why the Raider quarterback struggled in training camp. They were the ones making most of the plays in camp, and they made plays when the ball came their way in the game. This is what I meant when I said the whole picture might not have been pretty, but certain individuals playing well was big. Again, if Bennett can keep this up along with the rest of the secondary and pass rush during the regular season, forget it. It'll be near impossible to throw on the Raider defense. Where's the weak spot in that pass defense? The rush and coverage would be insane. Saturday's preseason game against the Vikings wasn't quite the overall picture I expected, but I loved the picture anyway. The part that I really loved is that both quarterbacks showed that they can go in there and do enough to win, and that was without Adams. Tucker showed he's quite a weapon, as he now has a release to go at that speed. Myers was his usual workman-like self over the middle, and first-round pick Brock Bowers was as advertised in the game, just like he was in training camp. The corners balled today just like they did all camp long too. If the Raiders can put it all together this season, they're going to be a problem. I can't wait to see the next one. I hope to see more of the starters. Thank you for watching. See you next time.